Sportin Wales podcast.
Supported by DragonBet.
Your go-to for Welsh sports news and views.
Welcome back to the Sportin podcast, and today welcoming Josh Adams again and the founder, main sponsor from DragonBet, James Lovell. Do I call you boss, or is it?
I think you're the boss.
No, I'm not.
I'll be in trouble. I'm the co-founder. My brother will give me a kick in the
Co-founder
nuts.
of obviously DragonBet, who's our main sponsor at Sporting, and very much appreciated for that. Today we're doing an end of year podcast, so we're going to go through, I guess, the highs and lows and your favourite memories of 2024. So there's a few.
Yep.
Had to think quite hard because you forget things quite quickly,
digging,
don't you?
Yeah.
So the first one we have is the breakout rugby player of the year. So any
Cam win it for me. You asked us here. He's just someone. When I watch him in the Six Nations, he was exciting, wasn't he? And Wales been missing that for a little bit, and just have to player like him. I think he won the Writers Rugby Player of the Year as well.
Yeah.
He's just class. Like, I can just see just the way he scopes the game and everything. He's just an exciting rugby player, and that's why you want to watch.
Yeah.
I'm a fan, and I want to watch an exciting player, and he is it.
He's exactly that. He's playing with him. He's exactly that, and he's certainly been probably for me as well. To be honest with you, the breakout this year. I think he's taken his game to another level this year, and he's looked really, really good. And he's super exciting talent, and there's many more gears to come from him as well, which is the really cool thing. So yeah, Cam, I'll say Cam as well.
What's he like, Josh? He seems like quiet.
He's a good kid. Yeah, he is. He is quite quiet. He's not. I wouldn't say he's a big speaker in the group as such. Maybe because of his age, and he's still finding his feet in that aspect. But naturally, as a personality, he's quite quiet. But such a lovely boy and an amazing rugby player.
Seems to take it in stride, because you think about it. He literally got thrown in last year, didn't he, to Wales and Cardiff.
That's the biggest compliment I can probably give Cam, is where as something you would think would faze someone or be put off by something, Cam takes everything, in his stride without even looking back. You can shrug off an error and just do something brilliant next, and it doesn't bother him or faze him. So I think that's the biggest compliment I'll give Cam, is he just takes everything as it comes, and nothing seems to faze him for such a young man. In moments in games where you think, high pressure situations, he just looks cool all the time. He looks calm.
He makes it look easy.
He does. And it's a calming influence across the team as well when he does things like that. So
he'd be a senior player next year, really, wouldn't he?
Pretty much.
I think
squad. with the age dynamic of teams these days, that I'm 29 and I could be like the third or fourth oldest in the team.
What?
So
You're
that's
not even 30,
crazy,
mate.
isn't it?
You're not even 30,
no,
are you?
and no. Honestly, I'd be. Ray, by a country mile, obviously would be.
Well, we don't know how old Ray is, do we?
Be the oldest, but I reckon I'm in the top 4 or 5, easy for the oldest in the team, and I'm 29.
When you act the youngest.
Pretty much.
Always got to have one of them.
You got to stay young somehow.
Exactly.
Other notable, I guess, Eddie James had a pretty good start to the season this year. Obviously, you got Alex Mann, Sean Jones, and Gwyneth Hopkins. Obviously, are the people that have come through this year.
It's a good list.
But we will go with Cam Winnett, is it? I guess,
I think so.
Joe Roberts as well.
Joe Roberts, Joe Roberts. He's obviously come back from injury.
Yeah, Joe.
Who I think he'd be in the Six Nations squad.
Yeah, he will.
Thereabouts. I think Gats is he likes him, doesn't he? So he'll be a player to look out for definitely next year. So Cam Winnett wins our breakout rugby player of the year.
Not biased.
Not biased at all. 2 or 3 lads from Cardiff. Yeah. Next one then, Wales rugby player of the year.
Okay, well, you're going to throw Cam in that category, obviously, again. Definitely, he'd be in top 3 easy. Wayno's been pretty good, isn't he?
Yeah.
Aaron Wainwright.
Yeah.
He's probably been a vocal point for Wales. And then, you probably look at Dewi, probably, to be honest. I think Jack, obviously, coming back from injury.
Yeah.
We didn't have Jack in the Six Nations.
No, he hasn't played a lot of rugby, has he, really, this year?
I think Dewi, the way he's taken on the role of captain at a young age, through a pretty difficult period as well. It's not as if we've been steamrolling teams, and post-match press conferences are easy and it's all well and good, saying we've done this well and that well. So through a difficult period, Dewi's been excellent with the way he's conducted himself, really mature, really good young man. And his performances have backed up as well. You know, he's led by example.
What's he like, mate? What's he like in Wales captain? Because obviously when he was at Ospreys, he wasn't our captain and he was sort of breaking through a little bit. And we all knew how good a player he was.
Yeah.
It's a totally different situation when you are suddenly captain of your country where like...
Yeah, it would be. I'd imagine you'd feel some sort of different pressure. Absolutely. Dewi's very good at picking his moments when to speak. I don't think he's the type of player who just says things because he feels like his voice needs to be heard. He's very well respected by everyone, older players, younger players. Everyone has massive respect for Dewi, and he chooses his moments really well when to speak. And he's pretty influential when he talks as well. You know, he's a good motivator, and he backs up what he says. You know, he's physical. He tries to lead from the front for Wales. You can see that by how he plays. He's abrasive. He wants to take the fight to the opposition as best as he can, and he tries to drag everyone else with him. And that's the sort of leader you want to muck him forward, you know.
When I'm watching him, he just looks like a captain. You know, he's built like a captain, acts like a captain. Even those post-match interviews, like you said, they must have been so tough. You know, you're having a tough time.
I can't imagine. How tough
properly steps up. You know, I can't imagine.
He does.
There must be the worst thing in the world. You've had a bad one. You got to sit there, do that interview. All the journalists grilling you, but he just seems to do it right. And just from a fan's point of view, just like I just proper respect him. You know, the person he is.
I do. Yeah.
Was he red hot favourites to be captain, I guess, before
him and Jack?
Yeah.
So
Jack.
Who else? Anyone else in that? Like Will Rowlands or something like that?
I'd imagine. Beardy or Will.
Beardy was up there.
Rowlands might have been in there.
We had the market up at some point. There was a bit of money. Lots of people bet Beardy. You know, Gatland obviously liked him, didn't he, for a long time. So
I think with Beardy, he's so important as a line-out caller, you know, a leader within the forwards with, you know, line-out defence, maul attack. All
it showed massively in Australia,
that sort of thing. That, you know, he's like a little captain in a way. Do you know what I mean? Because he's so important for them roles. But as an outright leader of the team, Dewi obviously takes that armband. But yeah, I can imagine Beardy would have been a great shout to be captain. He fits that mould. You know what I mean? He fits that sort of.
I like Wainwright as a player of the year. I just dyed blonde hair for a start. You got to give him points for that. What's that?
He's cut the mullet.
He's cut it, is he? When did he cut the mullet?
Well, I didn't know, but I seen him play against Montpellier.
No, mullet's gone. Mullet's gone.
He had a massive beard as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
He'd be like Samson, lose all his power now, wouldn't he? But he's just a class player again, doesn't he? I like him as well, just the way he goes. What was it, Whiteheads? He goes back and coaches on the weekends and stuff. It's just,
very humble,
that's just class. But he's just a class player. He had 50 caps this year. He reached, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Good footballer as well, isn't he?
Yeah, very good.
Good footballer.
He was with Cardiff City for a bit, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's very good footballer.
What position?
I don't know. Centre half, I think.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. No, so I'd have Wainwright. You just know you're going to get a performance out of him every time, kind of thing. I love Dewi, but I think Wainwright's the one who's kind of. He's just puts in the performances all the time.
Yeah, I think we can all agree he's probably been the player of the year. Obviously, Jack Morgan had a pretty good autumn, but didn't play much, obviously, in the Six Nations in the summer. Thomas Williams, he looked pretty good for Gloucester. You know, he's going to be up there, isn't he?
Right, Tommy's class.
Another notable ones would be Alex Callender and Joyce Butchers. All had pretty good years.
Yeah, they have.
So, Wayno, you win Sporting Wales Rugby Player of the Year.
Wayno, boy.
Biggest award he's won this year.
Schenken.
Let's get on to some football. Football MVP this year, which has been a few because I think Wales football have done all right this year, haven't they, in terms of the men doing well, the women
qualified for the Euros.
Oh, it's massive.
First time ever?
Oh yeah, first time ever. Just massive, isn't it? Just for sport, and I think it just shows kind of the FAW put a load of funding into them, and it shows when you put money into grassroots sport, it actually comes through, and you can see some benefits from it. And them qualifying, it just seems like a seismic moment for Welsh sport and for I think it bridges the gap between rugby fans and football fans as well. Like everyone can get behind Wales football, and we can all go and get drunk in Switzerland as well, which would be all right, wouldn't it?
So there's an excuse to get out there, isn't it?
Come on.
When is that? Do you know when that is?
I don't know when it is. I was trying to look for the odds last night, but the trades haven't got.
We've got an MVP of the Welsh football.
Yeah, so obviously you've got like Harry Wilson, Craig Bellamy. Obviously he's come in and done a pretty good job. Rhian Wilkinson, Jess Fishlock, obviously probably would be one of mine. Top goal scorer now, is it?
45 goals you got.
Well,
yeah, she's like top.
Seen her online.
impressive.
And some of those goals she
I've seen
scored
her
as well.
online.
Ethan
45
Ampadu, he's obviously
45 goals.
Right.
She's now the Welsh football top goal scorer.
What,
Yeah,
Bob Bale?
time.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she's class.
Yeah.
What did you think of Bellamy when he came in? Did you think he'd be a good coach?
I thought he'd do all right. I thought he'd get the respect of the boys pretty quickly, and I think he has, hasn't he? I think you got to look at that squad's totally different to what it has been obviously over the years, and they definitely seem to be playing a different style to under Page. Do you think?
Rob Page, yeah.
I thought he'd be terrible, but I was wrong.
Did you?
I just thought my brother played golf with him. He played golf for St. Mellons. There was a few. I just thought he'd lose his rag with him, but he hasn't. He seems to like.
That's what he said first thing in the press, isn't it? He goes, "Oh, you boys thought I'd be a nutter on the sideline," but he's been pretty.
Well,
cool,
my brother played
calm.
golf with him. There was his women playing in front of him. He's hitting the balls over
Was
their
he?
head. He was screaming, "Come on, hurry up!" And I just thought he'd be a nutcase, but he's not. He seems to have just taken it properly, didn't he? And everyone's
I think
behind him.
I think he spoke pretty well, isn't he? When he's had when he's had press conferences and whatever media he's in front of, I think he spoke really well. I think he's come across brilliantly, and I can, some of the matches before some of the matches when he's speaking, you can see that he cares. Do you know what I mean?
gonna say that.
You can see the passion that he's like speaking to the media with, and it comes across like, it feels like he really cares. He really wants to do well as well. And I think when the fans and spectators can sense that and feel that, you sort of get a pull a little bit.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, you think he was worked under Vincent Company?
Well,
I don't know if you've seen some of the
They
clips
reckon
of
Company
him.
calmed him down a bit,
Oh
didn't
my
they?
God, he is wild in the change room. You've seen him. So
I've seen that on obviously Mission to Burnley. It's on Amazon
exactly.
Prime. When obviously the story of Vince Company taking him up to the Prem, and he was going.
And he was his right hand man, wasn't he? There, so
He was,
wasn't
he was. Yeah.
So I guess he's probably got that a little bit of experience through there. But
Yeah.
he's doing a good job so far. But
Brilliant. Yeah.
I think the one thing people did say is a lot of the Welsh coaches that have come in do quite well at the start, don't they? So I guess the big test will be next year, wouldn't it? I guess with the
We've got to qualify for something.
haven't we?
Yeah.
What was he, 6 games unbeaten now?
Yeah.
From where they were, what was it, the Gibraltar game and coming to this?
Wow.
Hell of a difference. But like you say, Joe, I think just he said how much the job means to him, and you can see that as well, and you believe it. He's just, I kind of get excited thinking about him being coach, and he's brilliant.
That's probably the difference between him and Gats, is it? Maybe in terms of in the press,
Yeah.
I not without being too critical, maybe of Warren, but like Bellamy's come out and put his heart on his sleeve and says, this job it means everything, whereas maybe Warren hasn't. Maybe, but
Yeah, perhaps. I think there's a lot of so many different. The difference between football and rugby in the last few years. First, I think it's the first time that football's overtaken participation in rugby in Wales last couple of years. So football's actually become the dominant sport, and I just think the way, even though the press releases and the way the FAW kind of release those videos and those cool little social media clips and stuff, rugby needs to take a lot of lessons from football at the moment, I think.
Yeah, we're taking a big note as well of Gwali United. They've been in the magazine. Obviously, they've been doing well in the. They're in the English league, aren't they? In the Division, I think 2. So, just sort of mention those guys as well. They're doing really well for women's football. So, I guess Jess Fishlock between us is probably a Welsh
45 goals record.
Qualify for Euros.
Pretty much,
Pretty good.
She's not bad, is she?
Yeah.
Right. Well done, Jess. You win our Welsh football MVP. Moving on. Favourite match event of this year, 2024. There's some been unbelievable events, isn't there? Likes of Chatton Festival. I'll put my one out there. Would be the Super Bowl.
Right. Okay.
Kansas City Chiefs. I love my NFL.
Yeah, you do.
And I followed
What was
all
that,
year.
3 straight for the Chiefs then, is it?
2.
2 straight.
And they're going for 3rd this year.
That's
so they won
it. Sorry.
22-25 in overtime against San Francisco.
49ers.
I was up until about 3 a.m. watching it.
Sober or drunk?
I was pretty drunk, yeah. We do like a league all year. It's called NFL Fantasy.
Yeah.
And I ended up winning it. And we do that trophy presentation.
Yeah.
So all the boys came around the house. And we were trying to be quiet, and missus and kids upstairs screaming away. We were all downstairs, obviously. But I thought that was a pretty good event.
Yeah.
Guys, just yourself.
I'm just impressed you got a trophy for NFL League. These people are winning this on Sportin, and they get nothing, do they?
Oh, well, in the back, actually, in the car. I forgot to bring it in.
Send to the post.
In the post, yeah. Oh, well done.
I was trying to think through it, and the game, listen, I'm a bookie, so it's what I win the most money on. So I love a draw in football. No, everyone either bets one team to win or the other team. There was a draw, and it was the FA Cup, Liverpool against Man United, and it just had everything. And they kind of got that Liverpool Man United kind of needle, the old rivalry,
the bite.
Yeah, the bite, which is just, it puts you up. There's the FA Cup as well, which I still think is special. Might not be as special as it was, but there's that kind of thing. And it was, 2-2 in extra time, was it? McTominay scored after 10. McAllister scores at half time. Salah put Liverpool in front 2-1. And Tony spins round in the box, makes it 2-2. And then I think Liverpool went in front in injury time. And then United come back and won it. And then they won the whole tournament. So it was just a proper cup match, proper bit of rivalry. And it was just everything sports.
It's gone pretty well for United since then, isn't it?
Well, Josh is a big Liverpool fan, so you know quite a bit.
I don't.
United kicked on really well since that.
Liverpool, my bogey team. We bet them once. I was struggling for money at the time. We had Betfred did a load of pushes. They bet Liverpool 66-1 to win the league. So me and my brother went around every betting shop in South Wales. Had 50 quid, 50 quid, 50 quid. So we had 500 quid in on each at 66-1 to win the league. So yeah, they slipped up, when he slipped against Chelsea.
Gerrard.
No. Told my missus we're having a new bathroom, everything's going to be all right, Christmas will be lovely next year. We were out of trouble, and
that is savage.
Painful. So don't like Liverpool ever since then.
I don't blame you.
You got one, Josh?
Yeah. So I'm a big rugby league fan. So I like the NRL in Australia. So I don't know if any of you watched State of Origin, or if you heard of State of Origin between Queensland and New South Wales. So Game 3 State of Origin this year was a decider in Suncorp Stadium, which is traditionally a really tough place for New South Wales to go and win. That's like Queensland's like fortress, if you like. And they've gone up there in Game 3 and won. And that was a hell of a contest. Ding dong, it had it all. Great tries, massive hits, brawls. They say bring back the biff in rugby league, where it's all in punches.
Proper
it was
rugby.
Wicked game. So that, or I don't know if you've followed Penrith Panthers, who are a club team in the NRL. They won their 4th straight premiership, which is unheard of. It's such a grueling season, the NRL. Continuous games, like boys playing Origin on a Wednesday, playing for the club on Saturday in rugby league.
Yeah.
It's probably unheard of. It's probably unhealthy, in fact, right? But these guys do it.
Oh, they get paid well enough.
They get paid really well, right? Really well.
They get paid that much today.
They get paid a lot.
Very, very well. Like your top players are on over $1 million. Like they get paid extremely well. But yeah, I think that either Penrith winning 4 in a row, because I don't think any other team will ever get to do 4 in a row because of how hard the competition is.
Father and son as well, so his son plays.
Yeah, Nathan Cleary's the halfback and Ivan Cleary's the coach, so that makes it a little bit more special. Or that Game 3 in State of Origin for me, because just had everything you want from and it was a low scoring game, in fact.
Didn't the boys go to that in the summer?
Yeah, they did, it's the boys out in Australia, and so it'd be one of them two for me.
They look like the toughest games in rugby, don't they? Those State of Origin things, they're just absolutely brutal.
It's non-stop contest, just brutal, intense, and it's just such an amazing spectacle. That's on a bucket, Super Bowl will be on a bucket list for you. You're definitely going to do one before the end.
I will,
I'm certainly going to go to a State of Origin before.
Didn't they tried some kind of State of Origin in rugby union here, didn't they? With the Ospreys or Swansea boys against, did that come up? Or they were talking about doing it?
They were talking about something like that, weren't they?
I'm not too sure. There'd be loads of sort of things you could do with like the Origin theme. Do you know what I mean? With a state, but they do the states in Australia, but like East and West in Wales. If you went in a 3-game series, you could spin it off and play a game in Swansea, play a game in Cardiff, and I'm sure it'd generate a couple of quid. Like, do you know what I mean? I think the best boys from Dragons and Scarlet, the Dragons and Cardiff against the best boys from Ospreys and Scarlets, sorry, and then you play like a 3-game series, but it's finding a window to do it. I thought about it and could work, but in Australia they do it so it's your place of birth. So there'll be lads playing for club teams in Queensland, but were born and raised in New South Wales. So they'll be playing against their teammates and in Origin. So for me, I'm a Westie. I'd go and play for the Scarlets Osprey side because that's where I'm born and from. So I'll be playing against all all the
Brilliant.
Cardiff boys. So that's the sort of theory you have behind it as well.
I think it's a good idea,
Yeah.
isn't it? You know, like
Yeah.
sport's
I
built
think make a
on
couple
this
of quid
kind
there, genuine. I think it
on
would,
rivalries and being proud of where you're from, and backing your boys and all that. Yeah,
That would be pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
But one game where you could just smash the hell out of each other and then
Or,
go. That's
yeah.
the thing with the league.
You wouldn't
can
have to make it 3 games. You could just make it. You know, if you found a period in the window where you could just make it one big game.
you need to go speak to Barry and he'll get it going for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, geez, you got a few quid behind it.
Yeah,
didn't
I'm
he?
sure he has that.
So I guess we got Ireland v Wales women. They won 2-1. That could be another one, couldn't it? Ospreys European game, but I guess we'd probably go for Man United beating Liverpool.
Yes, that's for me.
Yeah, right then.
Come on,
So they could be the match of the year.
Because you won a few quid then, right?
Yeah, well, I've got to keep them happy.
One of us got something out of it, right?
Rookies never lose.
One of us got something out of it.
So that they can have the favourite, I guess, match event of this year. We're going to goal or try of the year next. There's quite a few here. Obviously, I got down Harry Wilson's goal against Montenegro. I got Duan van der Meer's try against England was pretty insane. He beat about 25 players.
Yeah, of course.
You got Jess Fishlock's goal against Ukraine. I think that would have been for the record.
That was awesome, wasn't it? She
Yeah.
won in front and
That was for the record, yeah.
I've got my try v Munster. I don't know how that's got in there, but no,
It's a typo.
Typo. Anything that sticks out? Your try last week, Josh, quite nice.
I know.
Wasn't it?
That is what you call a catch and drop. 2 meters out. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, take them.
But it's 5 points nevertheless, so take that. What about May scored a half decent one against Italy in Six Nations? I know we lost, but
Yeah, I
give
got
him a
that
nice
one.
hug afterwards.
it
as
was
well,
like a
didn't you?
little chip over the top from, I don't know, was that 9? It could have been kids.
Might have been kids. I think he just kicked it
Chip
through.
over the
didn't he?
top, and then Mace has like got his toe to it before the Italian's bounced up, and he's gone about 50 meters.
That's right. That little touch off his foot was special, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah. And you hugged him on the line as well.
did,
It's got to be
yeah.
worth
Do
an
you reckon
extra few points.
Do you reckon he wouldn't do that too much with his Mace?
What?
That little chip up. I haven't seen his football skills been that good.
No.
mate, I'll be honest.
Class, though. It was right at the end of the
It
game
was
as well.
good,
He must have
yeah.
been knackered, you know,
Yeah.
just the foot skills and to pick it up as well. That was,
I think that
classy.
was that game for him was actually probably like probably the opening for him in Sasha, wasn't it? Because he's been pretty quiet till then. I
He
think
actually
that
came off
was-
the bench at 12 that game.
Yeah,
Did he?
Yeah, that's really that's really.
he looked good when he went there, didn't he?
Yeah.
I like that Harry Wilson goal.
Yeah,
That
it's
Harry
Montenegro.
Wilson- Oh, it's just beautiful, wasn't it? You know, as soon as he struck it, he's run off. He knew he hit it. It swished into the top, proper top bins. That was class.
Yeah. He's
He's
Class
playing well
goal.
as well, isn't he? At the moment,
Oh, he's a
well.
good player. Real good player.
So we'll have that.
I'll go with Harry Wilson goal. Yeah,
Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah.
I'll join you in that.
I'm happy with that. It's a good
I'm
finish.
not lucky. I'm nice to people agreeing with me. Feels uncomfortable. So choose your own ones.
What we got next? We go for this could be, I guess, me and you, James. Favorite racehorse of the year. Obviously, we were at the Welsh Racing Awards the other day.
We were, yeah.
I
can
can't
tell you
remember
what-
who won that actually. I think it might have
Welsh
been one
race-
of Evans's horses, wasn't it?
No, I think was it Flying Foot? Oh, I don't know. I was drunk by that point. I'll be honest. Can't
Yeah,
remember.
yeah.
I can tell you
Good
my
night.
worst racehorse of the year, which is John Bon, the one on Saturday.
Oh,
Had an
you lost a
absolute
few quid.
disaster. Oh, we were losing out on the website anyway. I was stood at Sandown, so I was hoping it wasn't. Well, you're kind of hoping it's on all day, all the storm. So got there. We weren't allowed to put the umbrellas up because it was too windy. So we were absolutely soaked, freezing. Some guy came up to me, he said, "What odds are you for John Bon for the big race?" I said, "I'm 4 to 7. So he give me 8 to 13. I said, "Go on then." He said, "I'll have 20 on." I said, "Give him a ticket for 20 quid." He said, "No, 20 grand. My guts fell out. Absolutely fell out. So I decided to take the bet and absolutely never in doubt of getting beaten. I didn't say
Closed up.
long drive home. I just didn't say a word. The whole way home was in silence. awkward. So I kind of wish it had been off. So John Bon's my least favourite anyway, but that's not the question.
You take him on at Cheltenham, mine.
I
You
know,
have
he
to,
always
don't you?
makes that. The problem is, I take him on every time and he keeps winning, but he just makes a bad mistake now and again.
He's
I just
got
think
one or two in him, isn't he?
Yeah, but the problem is, I keep making that mistake and it's not working out so well so far. But yeah.
How was your Cheltenham anyway? Who was your favourite horse there that I guess you won a few quid on?
Oh, I'll tell you what, we did a pod here with Lorcan Williams just
Yeah.
before Cheltenham. He tipped up Golden Ace, which he was riding.
Yeah, mare. It's a good mare.
Yeah, man, won it like
Beat
10 to
Better
1.
Days Ahead, who won a good one in Ireland the other week, didn't they?
Yeah, so Golden Ace, I liked. Shake 'em Up Harry was brilliant. I just kind of love that kind of that connection with
Won well the
Harry
other day as
Redknapp.
well, didn't it?
Yeah, and Ben Jones as well, like class Welsh jockey. We're doing like Welsh jockeys are so good now. You talk about kind of Welsh sport probably not in the best place it's ever been, but the Welsh jockeys are absolutely smashing it, all of them. They're
Who
really
we got?
good.
We got James Bowen, Sean Bowen.
Well, Sean
Ben
Bowen's
Jones.
leading the Jockeys Championship, would have won it last year by an
Yep.
injury. We got Ben Jones, Jack Tudor, Lorcan Williams, both Bowen brothers. Who am I forgetting? There's Connor Brace. We just got a class group of.
We've taken over soon, haven't they?
Callum Pritchard. Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah, they're doing
no,
well.
they're good. They're good, and they all come from kind of. A lot of them play rugby as youngsters, but I think they're just tough. The Welsh boys are just tough jockey, and you've got to be tough to be a jockey.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, you've got to be a little bit,
Tapped.
tapped.
Got an ambulance. It's the
Oh,
only
it's-
sport you have where you got an ambulance chasing you around.
If you're
Something
going
there.
36 miles per hour into a 6 foot, like the national's scary, isn't it?
Oh,
It's not as scary as it used to be, but it is.
Just all of them. And you've got horses galloping behind you as well.
Yeah,
Fall off.
that's,
the thing,
that's
innit?
the frightening one, is the
Yeah.
horses behind you.
Oh yeah, when you
Get
get
clipped by one of them running. Like,
you're in front, and you got 40 horses
Yeah.
behind you, they just jump all over you.
They're so
wild.
strong, those boys as well. They're
Yeah.
just strong boys.
No, they're good lads. My favourite one is probably Magsborough Triumph winner.
Nice,
I had a few
yeah.
quid on for last day on the Friday.
Yeah, always remember
I had a good weekend. Yeah,
Did you?
Had
Yeah.
this weekend. Yeah, it was.
I like City of Troy throughout the year. I normally prefer the jumps, but
Yeah.
City of Troy are kind of. Aidan O'Brien always said he was the best horse he ever had. He disappointed in the first race, didn't he? The Guineas was it?
Yeah.
Won the Derby and then won in York, and he's just. Yeah, I think he was just proper. God knows how much he's going to be worth at stud, but he's a proper racehorse.
Yeah, I think he's up for what's he? Just short of 100k, I think.
100k every time.
Yeah.
And how many times they get busy a few
Quite a
times?
few, yeah. Well, if you look at like Franco, is what £350,000 a mare. Probably
Yeah.
sees 3-4 a day.
Yeah.
So,
Not a bad life, is it? That's what you want to be. Forget rugby. You want to be a horse stud. You win a few races, retire.
jump in
and,
with me. I got
yeah.
a few, mate. If you want to come and help out. I'm not paying that
150
much, I'll
quid a
tell you that. Bloody hell. So I guess we go with John Bond for favourite horse. Is it?
No, least favourite. City of Troy, I think he's just class. Like just a proper racehorse. Just class. Trained by Aidan O'Brien as well, who's just a master, and he and those Coolmore boys and all that. He had everything.
So who's your favourite? Yeah, I'll probably agree with you on that. It was pretty cool watching him. I know Breeders' Cup was pretty disappointing, but that would have been a pretty amazing achievement, wouldn't it? A horse that's run on grass all year and then suddenly run on dirt and win. It's
it's tough to go to America, isn't it? It's just different surface. It's
opens the doors, doesn't it, for I guess like the breeding side of it. The money would have just been astronomical. So we will go with City of Troy on that one. Next one to watch for 2025. Could be any sportsman, horse team, Welsh, ideally, I guess, really.
okay.
Obviously you
I
got
got a horse to watch actually.
yeah.
So Sam Thomas trains up in Thornhill. He had a horse to run at Taunton the other week called Dr. Blue. He's only a little baby, owned by Dol Walters, so it probably cost a nice few quid. But it was his first time on the grass. He looked like a just proper unexperienced. I think he'd been training it on the gallops, hadn't properly gone on the racetracks. The weather had been bad and everything. Just the way he went through the race, I just thought he didn't win by far.
Where was
but
that? Wincanton?
Taunton, Dr. Blue. I just think he had something special. I just think he might be under the radar. So I don't know if he'll make Cheltenham or anything, but I think he's just going to be a really, really good horse that perhaps wasn't picked up by everyone.
I think I would probably agree on that. Sam Thomas is a good trainer to follow.
Class,
He has got some very, very good horses, and he seems to put them in the right races as well, doesn't he?
He's good.
I think Lump Sum, who was second to Sergino in the Fighting Fifth on the weekend, that'll be a horse to follow. That'll do all right. You know,
Cost 250 grand that, mind.
yeah. I think it'll always be each way when it's always an each way bet. That horse.
Yeah.
I think it'll always be big odds and it'll go well.
Yeah.
Josh, you got any ones to watch? Wrexham could be in the championship next year.
Yeah.
That would be
Hell of achievement.
wow.
What's that? Back to back to back.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if they go champ. They're going to have to spend some money, so they're going to, you know.
Conference League 2, League 1
Can you
champ.
imagine? some story,
Mental. Mental.
Because Ipswich
My
did it,
missus
didn't
is
they?
a
They were
Wrexham.
League
Have you
One.
watched the Welcome to Wrexham?
champ.
Oh, I got no choice. My missus in love with Ryan Reynolds. She just every time.
No
But
way.
I quite like it. Lots of people don't like it, do they? You know, they kind of.
I like it, I do.
I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant.
I think it's class.
Yeah.
I think it's class how they've come in and they've basically they've changed the town, didn't they?
Yeah.
Completely.
100%. They put
They've done a
Wales
good
on.
job of- yeah.
They put Wales on the map, like America. No one knew
in a
what
way,
Wales was.
in a way, absolutely.
Yeah.
And if they could go to the championship, I know the national leagues is obviously very, pretty big and money wise and sponsorship, TV. But you go to the championship and
Cardiff Wrexham, Swansea Wrexham.
mental,
big class.
mental.
Never thought that
3
would
Welsh
change.
derbies now.
Ever.
Yeah.
Instead of the old just Cardiff Swansea.
You know what it will
Swansea.
do? They'll probably put Cardiff and Swansea on like they'd have to react to that a little bit, wouldn't they? Surely?
Yeah, they'd have to.
Because fan base,
They might. Yeah,
He did
they
I
might.
don't know. Hopefully, anyway, Cardiff need a few more quid.
I'd love to see him in the champ, Wrexham. I'd love them to go up.
Just good
I'd
for
love them to go
sport,
up.
isn't it?
I'd
You
love
know,
them to
just
go up.
good for awareness and all the
Yeah.
rest of it. And they did play. They played Newport last year a few times, didn't they?
Yeah.
That was the Welsh Classico, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd
Rodney
I'd
Brady.
absolutely love that for them to go up. Hopefully, they filmed this season as well, because they filmed every season so
Oh, they
far,
will.
haven't they?
They must-
Do you know what I mean? They've documented every season, then released it when that season's finished, and they've started the following, and then they released that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
they're definitely filming. They're coining it. In,
Yeah, they've got to. They've got to.
Yeah.
Players, you say players to watch?
Yeah, well, yeah, anyone really.
So we've seen a little bit Cardiff. We've seen a little bit of Stefan Manuel, didn't we, last week? There's another young kid who hopefully will get an opportunity soon. Is Tom Bowen?
Yeah.
He's 18 as well, so he's still very young, but
He's electric, mate.
electric.
What position's he?
Sort of full back or wing.
Cheslin Colby, apparently. The Welsh Cheslin Colby.
But, not quite Cheslin Colby. You know, nobody gets
No, there's only
gets
one of
close
them.
to him. Yeah, there's only one of him. But that sort of frame, you know, not the tallest, but you know, dynamic, quick across the ground, very explosive, brave, and he's still got a lot of learning and growing to do as well. But I think he's somebody that if he stays on the path he's on now, because he's a hard worker, he asks questions, he wants to learn, he wants to know different things. If he can continue to grow and develop in the way he's doing now, I think he'll be really somebody to keep your eye out in the next 18 months, 2 years. Tom Bowen.
Cool. That's one to have a look at.
Get odds on him to be in the Wales team
Yeah,
at some point.
Mate, have a look. I got one. I got Mimi Sue, who was a tennis player, Welsh tennis player.
No, really?
Apparently, yeah, one to look out for. I've spoken to a few people in the industry, and they said to keep an eye out for her. She could go well this year.
We've never had a good tennis player before,
No.
have we?
No.
So yeah, keep
I
out
played
Mimi
with-
Sue.
I played with Evan Hoyt. I don't know if you've heard of Evan Hoyt.
No.
I played with him Athletic School Boys under when we were under 15s, but he became professional at tennis when he was 16 or 17, I think he was, and he played in, I think he was in the final of Junior Wimbledon.
Was he? Yeah.
He never really kicked on to the heights of like, you know, getting far in majors and knockout tournaments,
rankings, isn't it? It's all about
rankings and
rankings,
stuff.
yeah.
But you know, as a youngster from the 17 to 22, 23, he was.
Yeah.
To make it in those
I-
individual sports must be so hard.
Oh,
You know, there's so
difficult,
few
yeah.
of them I used to play
Yeah.
golf. Like when I was 16, there was a kid who used to play off +4, and I thought he didn't make it. And I thought, how the hell did he not make it? He was just he was +4 at 16. He could just do everything, you know,
Yeah.
and he just wasn't good enough.
That's the
Top 2
difference,
inches,
yeah.
I reckon. We've got Lauren Price. She's set for British unification with Natasha Jonas. You know, I think she's Scouser, isn't she? So that's actually quite a big fight. I
Yeah.
think. So I think we're having a piece with her on the magazine, I think, next year. So that's another one to look out for.
She won Welsh Sports Personality last year, or the year before,
Yeah,
didn't she?
yeah. So she's going well. And I guess probably one is Wales in Euros, isn't it? That'd be one to watch.
Yeah.
I guess next year.
Yeah. Where would you say it was in Switzerland?
Switzerland, yeah.
So there's actually quite a few there. It's quite hard
Yeah.
to decide
Yeah, I would.
on one there, isn't there? But you know, they're all good options, and I guess
I'll say the girls getting to the Euros.
in terms of one to watch for 2025.
Yeah, I think that tournament itself will probably be one of the best. Yeah.
Okay, we'll go
Yeah.
for that one. That leads on quite nicely into the best seat in the house 2025. I know me and you were like Cheltenham Festival.
It's Cheltenham all day long for me.
Cheltenham's good. Yeah.
You been,
It's
Josh?
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was at Worcester, we used to go.
nice.
Most years. So have a
Yeah.
social down there.
In a box or just wandering around?
No, we didn't go in the box. There
Don't
was
people pester you when you wander around?
there was a story about the box where we used to get one, but prior to me arriving, I think they had the box one year, got a bit loose.
Well, that was
allowed it.
Gloucester boys did that as well.
Box got a bit messy
they, yeah.
and they cut it. But we had, you know, we had tickets sorted for us, and we went down a couple of times. I think we did the Gold Cup day once, and then Ladies' Day is usually on Wednesday.
Is it Wednesday or Thursday?
Thursday, I think it might be
I think it was
Thursday, yeah.
Ladies' Day as well, which
Yeah.
they're all great days, isn't they?
Yeah.
The Gold
All
Cup
great
day's a
days.
bit busy, isn't it? You
Yeah,
can't move
heaving.
around by the time you get to the bar and
Heaving,
everything.
yeah.
They've got-
What's your favourite day for you?
I like the Tuesdays. The first
Tuesday.
day is like there's
Champion Hurdle.
yeah, never seem to win on their mind, but it's kind of a massive crowd there.
First day
You can still move
excitement,
around.
innit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
first day excitement.
Supreme,
and all that
that's
kind
the
of-
First day
yeah.
thirsts as well.
First day thirsts, exactly.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
week's gonna be next year's gonna be mad because it's England week as well.
Is it really? Yeah.
Well, so it builds up to the England game on Wales.
Nice.
And you always have
it's
the
always the Six Nations, isn't it?
And it's always the Champions League in the night as well. It's funny.
if you make a night.
Yeah, if you make a night, exactly. You don't want to go out in Cheltenham. They turn all the bars into all the pubs that are normally pubs turn into dens of iniquity. You just want to stay out of them.
Yeah, I remember having a good week. I had a good week last year. Ended up going out, spending it all out night out. Nothing left. But obviously, other notable days. The Lions test, second test, is in MCG Melbourne,
in Australia.
which is that'll be some atmosphere.
You tell me what's the capacity there?
Like 110 plus
big.
thousand people. Like it's wild there.
MCG is the Melbourne Cricket Stadium. Is
Yes,
that
where they do.
Melbourne Cricket Ground. Yeah,
Yes,
sorry.
it's huge. So that'd be pretty awesome. Champions Cup finals in the Principality.
Yes,
be good.
Should be a good one. Obviously, you got Grand
both
National.
finals, I think.
Yeah,
Champions Cup and Challenge Cup final is both there, which will be good.
yeah. Hopefully we get a Welsh team in the Challenge Cup.
Yeah.
I don't know what the odds are on that. But
I
look on
don't know
Dragon
either,
Bet.
but I'm sure we'll get
they'll be
someone
up
on
there. League One playoff final at Wembley could be Wrexham. Hopefully automatic, but that would be a good day out.
Yeah.
Obviously, England are playing India at Lords. You got Glamorgan at finals day at Edgbaston, and then first ever Club World Cup final at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey.
Nice.
So that's
What's this?
completely new.
MetLife Stadium.
Yeah, first ever Club World Cup.
Football.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
What would be the stadium you most want to play in, Josh?
That's a good question. That MCG would be amazing. I've seen that. There's been an Origin game there, and that looked incredible. In Australia.
They far away from the pitch, or
Yeah, they are.
It's huge.
That's the issue. I think it's so big that you can't make it that
They play
hostile and
AFL
tight.
there. It's Aussie rules.
yeah.
I think it's AFL.
There's a couple of American stadiums that I've seen through some of the NFL
Dallas.
teams. The
Dallas one.
the
looks
Dallas Stadium
immense.
is incredible, which is what's that called? I know the training base is called the Star, and it costs £1 billion.
oof.
I'd like to play in the Atlanta Falcons Stadium. It's that dome. I can't remember what it's called.
Superdome, is that what it's
Could be
called?
Superdome. But a couple
Seattle are pretty good.
one of them sort of NFL stadiums where they.
Where did you play in Washington? Did you play Washington?
No,
back
that was the Washington Redskins' old stadium,
Right,
which was
okay.
nice, but it was dated. Like it's nothing like these new.
Can't call them the Redskins anymore, mate.
No, it was no. They actually called the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, Commanders.
Commanders
now.
now.
Yeah, Commanders.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I never really played too much in America.
No, I
The
haven't
World
either.
Cup is obviously
Yeah, it is.
is there, so that'd be they're going to be
couple of
playing in some serious
stadiums would be
stadiums there. That'd be pretty
incredible.
cool.
I tell you what, I'd love to play in the obviously Anfield. Obviously, if there's ever a rugby game, but I'd like to play in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I know Quins and Saris play there. Boys who have played there said it's an amazing ground to play
Yeah,
at.
it does
So
look class. Everyone says that.
I'd like to get a kick there.
I've watched the NFL game there. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
pretty impressive.
How come you're a Liverpool fan?
God, don't go
So
into this.
strange, really, because my brother, he's like a Swansea fan, really, but my dad's United fan.
Just to upset your dad, then, was it?
But my best mate, who I grew up with from a young age, he was a Liverpool fan, and his dad was. And he sort of roped me into supporting Liverpool. And then when I started watching Liverpool, I loved Michael Owen.
All right, fair enough.
So Michael Owen basically sealed the deal. It was like, yeah, I like Liverpool, they're nice. Watch Michael Owen, this little bloke, scores loads of goals, fast. I was like, I like him. And I was that.
Class.
And then I learned, obviously, going on, then you had some, Ian Rush was Welsh,
Yeah, you had the
playing
Welsh.
for Liverpool. And then I loved Robbie Fowler, John Barnes especially. Stan Collymore was one of my favourites.
Did you like Stan
Yeah,
Collymore?
I loved Stan Collymore. He was a great player. So then when you obviously get a bit older, you start to look into the history of Liverpool a little bit, and then you realise, well, I'm actually supporting a pretty big club here.
There's so
But yeah,
many
that's
Liverpool
the
fans
story
in
of how I
Wales.
got into supporting Liverpool. Never, it wasn't something that was watched in my house because my dad was United. It was my best mate who was to spend a lot of time with. He was Liverpool because of his dad. He'd show me all the Liverpool stuff, tops, jerseys, videos, do you know what I mean? Reenact Liverpool players scoring, and it just happened that way.
Still don't like him off that slip up. Can't forgive him.
Just lost him too much money,
Yeah,
didn't he?
too much.
So there's quite a few good options there, I guess. So anyone we can sort of nail down? I guess you also got the women's at the Euros. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
In terms of
Their
Welsh.
opening match would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Their first one there.
Yeah.
I I just think get to all of them as much as you can.
Yeah,
get
exactly.
To.
Yeah, go
exactly.
support them all, especially if anyone Welsh or Welsh team are involved.
Yeah, if you can.
So they all win it. They all win it. Hopefully, we get quite a few Welsh boys in the Lions as well. It's going to be a good tour. And then last one, Welsh. Well, I guess sporting moment. We probably already spoke about it, haven't we? About the women's qualified. The women's qualified for Euros is pretty big.
Oh, that's massive.
Trying to think of other.
How about TNS when they first Welsh team to get for the European Conference?
Yeah.
No one likes them TNS, do they? Though I don't.
Well, because I think they're the top boys in that.
Yeah,
in that JD
and they
Premier.
In England. They play in England, don't they? Play in Oswestry, is it? It was just over the bridge. Like. It's funny, they've done so much for Welsh football, but
they're the only pro team in that league, see?
They're the only full pro team, they've won it like 16 times. I think Connor's Key beaten once, so like they don't have any fans, do they? Which is a shame, because they're such a classy team at that level, and they've done a lot for Welsh football, but just no one likes them. They're playing Panathinaikos tomorrow night, I think.
Panathinaikos, Greek team.
Yeah. Big Florentina, but yeah.
Have you taken many bets for the Lions tour at the moment recently, or no?
No, we've had the captain market up, but no one's really had a bet in it yet. Who's going to be captain? I
think the Six Nations that'll really start to take off.
Then after that,
that's the window, innit? Do you know what I mean?
People don't it's a long event in advance, and until they get near the time, we'll have a bit more.
Obviously, with the European competition last week, any changes to that, or was Toulouse, Leinster favourites?
Yeah, same. Yeah, not a huge amount of change.
I did see some of those South African teams were big priced, boy.
Do you reckon?
I would say, yeah.
Sharks,
Bulls. Just because
if
they can get a home last 16,
they're
going to be tough to beat.
Yeah,
Again, the traders chop them, chop the odds. Alex said.
You could. Well, if it depends how much money you want to take. I can't. We're not going to be betting, but so I guess best sporting moment would be the women's Euros. I guess not too much to say about rugby. Yeah,
it's just big, isn't it? It's big for Welsh sport.
Yeah.
It's big for women's sport. It kind of
because it's their first time as well.
First time.
I think England as well. How they've done. It's quite good that we've sort of on the back
you can see the change and the crowds they get as well. What do they have?
You remember the men's side qualified, and it was in France, and they got to the quarterfinals.
Everyone's best summer ever, wasn't it?
I went.
Yeah,
I went to the quarterfinals in Lille against Belgium.
Yeah,
I was down there.
Wow, that was a hell of a game.
And how the whole nation just went absolutely mad for it.
Were you with Sanjan? Because he was on tables singing in all these pubs.
So I was with my mate from home. And literally everyone who could possibly afford to get there
got there.
Was screaming. Every pot in the house, everything, every last penny was getting to the Euros.
And those things are special, aren't they? Yeah, they just bring people together, and you have experiences you wouldn't get. I mean, sport does that, doesn't it?
Yeah,
you know, you can just have these experiences you wouldn't have elsewhere.
It'd be great if that was the same sort of feel from us as a nation now to go and
it'd be good. It'd be something to look forward to, isn't it?
In Switzerland as well. Because they'll need all the support as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think
they're tough tournaments, like against some big teams, and the more of us supporting and pushing them on, the better for them.
Yeah, I think they're not going to be kind of no hopers though. Are they?
No, absolutely not.
They'll be runners.
No doubt they'll probably be in England's group or something, wouldn't they? So
adds to the spice.
That'll be good. So they're going to win our sporting moment this year. That's it, guys. Thanks everyone, all the listeners this year. Obviously, thanks very much for our main sponsor, Dragon Bet. James, thanks for coming and thanks for the support.
Cheers, thanks for having me.
This year, the podcast throughout the whole year, our first year. Somehow I'm still going, which is good.
You're doing good, mate.
Hopefully, we get as much as Gainsborough this year as we did, obviously, for next year as well. So everyone have a wonderful Christmas and see you all next year. Cheers, Josh. Cheers, James. Thanks for tuning in to Sportin Wales podcast. Make sure you subscribe and follow us on all socials for all things Sportin Wales.
Sportin Wales podcast.
Supported by Dragon Bet.
Your go-to for Welsh sports news and views.